Gen Z Finance. I'm an older Gen Z on the cusp of being a young millennial, documenting my financial journey here on YouTube. Today is April 5th, which is a Monday, and I just got my stimulus check. So I'm going to take a few minutes in my YNAB budget and update my accounts and budget out that stimulus check with y'all. And then I think I'm also going to be adding right after this, just like my normal paycheck that I would get on Friday. So you will see this on this Friday, but it's kind of two separate budgets. Okay, so let me come over to my checking account and reconcile and update some things. And I also need to enter in this paycheck for $62.39. I actually got it on April 1st. I was just gonna wait to budget it until I got my stimulus check. We can enter that, so I'm gonna approve that. And this is from my part-time job. This was only for 6 hours, so that's why it's so small. Okay, so let me go ahead and budget this $62.39 first. So what I'm going to do is, with any extra income from my part-time job or cashback or interest, I set aside 8% for taxes just to cover my butt in case I need to owe. So we're going to do $62.39 times 0.08, and so that's $4.99, and we're just gonna add 1 cent to that, so we'll do $5 there. And then if you saw my March budget review, which I will link up above if you have not yet, you know that one of my goals for Q2 is to add an additional 10 to 15% of my total spending for the entire month to investments, and that's on top of the normal $50 a month that I put to my brokerage. So I'm gonna track this and remind myself to do it. Create a category, additional spending investments, which is kind of a long name, but it works for me. And then I'm going to come to my reports, look at the spending graph. So we're looking just at April. So far, I've spent $505. So I'm literally just going to write a note. And I'm going to create a goal for this. And we're going to make this needed for spending by the end of this month. And now I'm gonna pull up a calculator and literally take 505, and let's shoot for 15% times 15. So far I need 75. And obviously this is going to change, each week, or as I do more spending, this number will change throughout the month, but this is how I'm going to do it for now. And so I'm gonna put this full $57.39 to additional spending investments. And then when I do invest this money, it's gonna come out of this brokerage line item, but at least this way I know that I set aside enough money. So hopefully that all made sense. Okay, now that that's done, we can add in this transaction from the payees, the government. It's going to be inflow to be budgeted, and this inflow will be $1,400. So for my stimulus, I know I want to do 10% into giving, and I think I want all of that 10% to be under here in donations. So 10% of $1,400 is $140. And then just because I don't really like how 140 is uneven, I'm going to pop another $10 into random acts of kindness so that I really put $150 into giving. All right. Then I also want to put 50% because one of my goals is to always invest 50% of my gross income every single month. So I do want to put 50% of this into my brokerage this month. So 50% of $1,400 is $700, and we're going to add this to the brokerage line item. So that's going to be quite a bit going into my brokerage this month. Okay, now for this $550. I'm a little torn on what to do with this because I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with it. But what I'm thinking is currently I put $50 a month into this car ownership category, and this is to cover things like my AAA membership, my car registration, license renewals, so all of those like legal kind of fees. And then it's supposed to kind of cover tier 1 car maintenance. So getting my oil changed, which I have not done in a while. So I need to get on that, and maybe, getting new tires just as they're needed. But I also have down here this car emergency fund that has $1,200. So this is for like bigger oh crap moments. It covers my deductible for my car insurance and would cover, bigger repairs that are needed. So between the two of them, I have $1,780 saved, and I think I just want to get this up to $2,000. And once this is at $2,000, I won't save $50 a month for this anymore and only add to it if I spend out of it. And so how I want this split up is I want $500 under my kind of sinking funds, and then I want the $1,500 under my car emergency fund, because again, that is for like bigger expenses. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move that $80 out of here, $80 to car emergency fund, and then I'm going to change this goal to $1,500, which means I need an additional $220 to fully fund that. We can come up here and edit this goal. We'll just make this a target savings balance of 500. So that should be green. So that still leaves me 330. And what do I want to do with this 330? Okay, so under this sinking funds, I'm going to create a new category called continuing education. I don't know, maybe I'll change that name to something like fun, but for now we'll just do this little emoji. For this, I'm interested in looking into the Google certification thing. They just have some classes that I think would be good for me, and it's about $40 a month to enroll. I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to take me to complete, so let's budget for 3 months, which would be $120. So I still have $210. Let me just pop that $10 into this additional spending and investments. Oh, I also have $629 in this holding category, and that is from interest from my checking and savings accounts that I got at the end of March. So I can move this to additional spending and investments as well. So now I'm only $207 left on that, which I might cover here in a second. Let's expand all of these categories. Okay, so I already have quite a bit going into my brokerage, so I'm not necessarily concerned with that. I don't need any extra in electronics. I've already put a little bit extra into travel and trips last month, so I'm not too worried about that. How about I add $100 into dental and vision? And the reason I'm doing this is because I am interested in thinking about getting my teeth whitened, and I don't know how expensive that is, but I think I have a dentist appointment this month, so I'm going to talk to my dentist to see what her recommendations are and what we can do about that. So I have the $700 there. I have $71.40 in this post-COVID socializing, and again, I don't know how much I need for this, so let's just bump this up to 100. So let's do 100 minus 71.40, 28.60 there. Okay, let's just put 207 in here now. So I've covered the $75.75 that I need to so far for my monthly spending, and that leaves me with $69.33. Are you guys going to be mad at me if I put this into holding? I kind of just want to put this into holding because I don't necessarily think I have any other place that this needs to go. Maybe I'll do another $5 into dining out. I've already spent $10 this month though, so I don't want to get too crazy with that. We could put another $40 in here. That would be 4 months of access to those classes, which should be enough. I don't like how this is like 99, so let's see. Let's just zero that out and then say 100 minus 94.72. So now we're putting 528 into taxes so that this is like a nice round number. And you know what? Just because I know I'm going to spend more throughout the month, let's just put the rest of this 2405 into my additional investing category. So that is now up to $99.80, so that when I do spend more money throughout the rest of the month, I already have some money set aside for that. So between these two categories, I should have about $1,500 going into my brokerage this month, which is literally insane. Like that is so much money. And I still set aside money for some of my sinking funds and beefed those up, so I feel pretty good about this. This actually was a lot harder than I thought it was, so I'm sorry. This video is probably going to be hella long, and I apologize. So I will see you in just a couple of seconds with my paycheck from my full-time job. Okay, I am now back to budget out my full-time job paycheck. I want to start by saying I'm sorry if you can hear a bird in the background chirping. Guy just will not shut up, so I'm not going to delay this video anymore waiting for him to go quiet. Okay, so this is my paycheck. It was actually $188.14. So we're going to go ahead and enter this now, and that gives us $1,088.14 to budget with. So everything in April is already covered for the most part, and we're going to jump forward into May because I like to budget a month ahead. So we're going to do $200 to bills to mom, and that will take care of half of the $400 I need by the 1st. We can take care of these monthly subscriptions. I'm going to come back to gas. I'm not quite sure how much money I'm going to have to put towards this, so I'm going to come back to it in a second. We're going to do $25 to dining out, $50 to other, and okay, I currently have $100 in fun. I know that this month, April, is the Fearless re-release by Taylor Swift, and I think I'm just gonna like go buy the album or go buy some merch or something, so that's probably gonna come out of this fun category, and so I might need to come back to this and put more money in here. So let's do $50 for donations and $100 for gifts, and then I'll cover family giving with my next check. Okay, down to investing in my FIRE section. So we're gonna do $250 to my Roth IRA, so that will take care of half of the $500 I need. And then for my brokerage, so I was doing $50 each Monday, but I think I'm gonna actually change how this is set up. So let me go to this scheduled transaction. And this is in my M1 taxable account. So let me edit this. First of all, we're gonna move this to Vanguard brokerage because I'm no longer with M1. So now let's go to here. I think I want to do this as $100 every other week. Instead of the $50 a week, let's just do $100 every other week. And I think I want to start this on the 19th. And it's going to repeat every other week. So let's save and go back to the budget. And if I come here, you can see that I have 3 upcoming transactions in May. So I actually need $300 in this category. So let's edit this goal. And I don't believe, let me know if you guys have a workaround for this, but I don't believe any of these goals, like the needed for spending goals, I don't believe I can set that up to be like every other week. So we're just gonna delete that goal. And then I guess mostly this is going to be $200 a month. So let's just put in a new goal for $200 each month. And for these 3 Monday months, like I'll just deal with those as they come. So let's just save that. But like I said, I actually need to cover $300. So I'm gonna do $150 with this paycheck, and then we'll do the last $150 with the next paycheck. That's everything I'm gonna do in May. So let's come back to April. And before I forget, you just saw me set this up for the spending that I had the first week. But let's go to the reports again and check in on my spending as of April 8th. So now I've spent $609.20. So let's come back here. 21, I spent 609.40. So with my calculator, 609.40 times 0.15 is $91.41. Okay, and so let me edit this goal to $91.41. And that extra money that I put into this category with my stimulus check still covers me, and it still covers me by about like $8. Maybe I'll put like 20 cents in here just to get that up to 100, and then I should be good for this category until I get paid again in 2 weeks. Okay, so let me come down to the savings items, and I always do $200 a month to my next year deductible, and this is my next year medical deductible. I like to save up for that, so at the beginning of each new year I have the full deductible. All right, that leaves me $61.95. So let's go back to May, and now, so normally I put $65 into gas every month, but like, let's be honest, I don't use this gas money. I haven't gotten gas in forever, and I don't really expect to get gas in April, but I do kind of like to budget it just in case I do end up using the gas that month. I already have the money left over to replace what I used at the beginning of the next month, but I don't need to put the full 65 in here, if we're being honest. So let's do 40 in here. And then let's do $20 into fun. And like I said, this is in anticipation of me spending money in April in this category. And if I spend money in April, then my goal of always having $100 will no longer be met if I don't budget this money in here. So that leaves me with $195, and we're just gonna put that into holding. I think that's a small enough number to put into holding for now. Something I wanted to briefly talk about is you don't necessarily see it because these transactions are scheduled for the Friday, and I always do my budget with me's on the Thursday before I get paid because that's when it shows up in my bank account as pending. But I schedule transactions for my 401k and my HSA as well, repeat every other Friday, and this is just how I track my contributions to these accounts. You can see my pre-tax contribution to my HSA is $129.17, and then my 401k, I break this up into both my Roth contribution, so with every paycheck I put $115.40 into my Roth 401k and $645 into my pre-tax or traditional 401k as well. So I just wanted to briefly talk about that because I haven't mentioned that in a while, but that is actually how I kind of track my contributions to all of my investing accounts, is I have these scheduled transactions like you see for my Roth IRA that comes from my checking account, and then we already talked about and set up my scheduled transaction for my brokerage as well. And currently my age of money is sitting at 86 days. What that means is of the last 10 cash transactions I had, so money that moved pretty much out of my checking account, not money that I put on a credit card, that money that I spent, I had kept in my budget and I had for at least 86 days, or on average 86 days. So that is definitely moving up. If we go back to January, I started the year and this new budget with 18 days. So it's definitely getting closer to what it was in my old budget. I don't remember the exact number it was in my previous like 2019 through 2020 budget, but it was definitely like in the hundreds, maybe even 200s. I can't remember. And then for my days of buffering, we are now at 371 days. This is a toolkit for YNAB feature where it tells you that based on your average daily spending, this is how long your money could last you if you never got paid again, based on your average daily spending as of now. So you can see that my average daily outflow is about $62. So based on that, all of the money that I have on hand right now could last me just over 1 year, which is pretty great. I mean, depending on your viewpoint of things, some people would say you need to have less in cash. I feel very comfortable with this. I like this. And this makes me happy. Oh, and speaking of new updates to YNAB, I meant to do this budget with these progress bars on, but I completely forgot. But here is what my budget looks like with these new progress bars. It's just this little toggle in the upper right-hand corner that you can turn on and off pretty easily. I mostly keep it off, but I do think it's interesting to look at these a couple of times throughout the month. Okay, and then looking back in May and just clicking on all my underfunded categories, I still need about $994.23 to fully fund this month, which we should be able to do with my next paycheck. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. Let me know what you did with your stimulus check in the comments down below. And as always, I hope y'all are staying safe and healthy. Have a good day.